So, so hi, I am Anna. I represent the International Theatre Festival Divadelná Nitra that occurs in Slovakia in regional city Nitra. And I am one of the partner of network Be SpectACTive, and I am also the co-producer of your production, Generation. And we are very looking forward to meet you in Nitra. Yeah. So now I have a question on you. If you could tell us something about your artistic background, maybe?
Yeah, of course. So Le Cri Dévot is a company that we are working together for almost 10 years now. Mm-hmm. The company, I'm a comedian and a researcher. And this company is exploring, how can I say that, like modern writing. And we always work with some creative collaboration with different publics to enrich our performance or shows. For 3 years now, we are working around the French feminist writer Annie Ernaux, around her entire work, and we basically work on The Years, which is one of a famous novel, and it's a novel from telling the story of, it's an autobiographic one, and she's talking about her life, woman life in a French society from the 40s till the beginning of the 21st century. And she's telling a story around collective memory and intimate one. And so our projects for these past 3 years are linked to that subject, which is like the memory of big and social movement and events in the society, but also how people got this memory of it, an intimate one. I hope it's clear what I said. But this is and we are used to work with really different type of publics, and it's like we really want to include them into the creation process. That's.
And you work a lot with participatory programming and participatory dramaturgy. And my question is, why do you think that it's important personally for you and for your company to work with spectators?
It's really important because it's, for us, it's important to include people into that, because they can make us change the way we see things. It's like an empowerment of it, like they can enrich our dialogue, our thoughts about it. And it's a way to democratize culture in a large sense. And moreover, because our projects, they are always linked to the question of human, of people, and it's not okay if we talk about human without meeting them. So it's like, yeah, we have to work like that. And moreover, because we want to make subject that can sometimes feel something like wild or too deep for people, to make them understand that it can be easy to exchange about it without sacralize it, you know?
And in the framework of network Be SpectACTive, you will create the project Generation. Could you introduce us this project a little bit?
Of course. So as I told you, we've worked on the novel The Years, and the novel and the story of this woman in the French society ends in 2007. And so we asked ourselves the question, what's next? Who's going to talk about the new generation? And so we decided to give the speech to the new generation, the Generation Z, which is like the teenagers from nowadays. And we started to make a laboratory in France for 2 years now, experiencing things with them in school or with captive public or not. They can be amateur or without theatrical experience, and we try to make them talk about their generation without our point of view on it, like talking about it freely, and that was really interesting to start with it. And with the European project, the European dimension with Be SpectACTive, it was really important for us to cross all these different how can I say, like avis. I'm sorry, I don't have the words for that, but we wanted to cross all the feeling about it, you know, like we all have this kind of big movement in our society, like with feminism or racism, or, you know, like the people start to speak, and we want to hear what the teenager have to say right now about it, and to maybe compares what teenager from this country, if he's agree with another country, how they live the different type of events. And so this is like the main thing that interests us in this project, #Generation. And there is more, we really want to meet them. It's about meeting, actually. It's not necessarily about making contents, or, you know, it's really about like meeting a group of teenagers and give them the tools to speak about themselves, for them to feel free about it. So yeah, I think that's
yeah.
that's it.
And could you tell us what we should expect as a partner of Residency, same as Göteborg and San Sepolcro and Nitra?
Yeah. So we would like to work with a group of teenagers from 14 to 20, like, because we think that 14 is a good age to start, because they at 14 they started to have like a critical mind. They can feel things more in a different aspect than their parents or education, or they got their own thoughts. And so a group of 12 or 50 teenagers to work with them, to make some workshops, so to have time, maybe like 3 days in the morning or 3 days in the afternoon, or an entire day in a weekend if it's on vacation time. And so we want to work with them with some writing games, for example, some interview to recording them on audio or video. So there's this all kind of theatrical games with their voice, their body too, and around the subject, like something kind of a brainstorming with them for a week, or we have to decide together how many times. But so have this first step, and then we want to make them come with us. We want them to make us discover their places they hang out in their own town. If they like to go to the lake, or if they like to go to really meet how they live, how they experience their own town, their own country. And so it's important for us to get out from the theater and to go in town and discover, because for example, I've never been to Slovakia or Sweden, you know, so it's important for us to discover the environments of it. So there's these two type of phase. And then the last one is to make a performance with them, and they're going to be the actor of it, like a final show, kind of with the text that maybe they write, or the testimony they want to give, and with some electronic music too. So this kind of a theater concert performance at the end of the residency in each country.
And you mentioned that you already start in France.
Yeah.
Project. And could you tell us something about the values or ideas of the teenagers? Maybe it's secret, but I am really interested in that.
This is really surprising. That's why this project is so amazing for us. It's because we've worked a lot with the amateurs. They never did theater. We went to schools, and there were kind of professional schools, you know, where they don't have like a theoretical studies, and so there wasn't like, they never went to theater. They were kind of scary when they met us first, but step by step, we started to make them talk about their generation, and realizing that they wasn't so agree. They had some different point of view in the same group. And that was really interesting because they started to discuss without us in it. They were just chatting, something that they actually do on their phones every day, but not necessarily about this kind of subject. And that was really interesting to let them and observe that thing. And one of the important thing at the end is that when they make the last performance after 1 week or 2 weeks of residency with them, they invite professors and parents, and the parents are here. And for the first time, the parents see their child or their teenagers on another side, another point of view, because they hear things that they not allow them to say. And so there is this kind of intergenerational things that started to grow. Like sometimes parents come after the show to say, I didn't think that my child was thinking that, or that's crazy because I was thinking the same thing that my child when I was a teenager. And so there's all this link that grow inside this project, which is really interesting. And the most important is that all the students, all the teenagers that we met, they felt something different at the end, even if they can't say what it is or put some words on it, but they really feel that something changed. First of all, inside the group, inside the class, or related to the other teenager, and their vision on the world, on the critical vision of it. So yeah, it's really interesting as an experience for a teenager, and for us too, of course, because I was a teenager, I'm not now, but it's weird to see that there's still sometimes there's the same problem, but they are just like on another subject, but it's always tricky somewhere, you know.
Okay, so now we are in pandemic, and we have 1 year experience with life in pandemic. And how is pandemic changing your work, or maybe the project?
That was a tough year, I'm not gonna lie. That was hard. We were kind of lucky because the company was on creation this first year of pandemic, like for the first lockdown. We were in creation, so we worked without any public, but we worked. So that was like the good points. But now we got shows and we can like broadcast them, so it's kind of confusing. But we have the chance that in France the school's still open, so we can make some project in it. We can play our shows in schools, and so we still have this link with the teenager and student, which is really interesting for the project Be SpectACTive, because this link never stopped for us. And so we didn't really change the way of we see the hashtag generation for Be SpectACTive, because we still believe in the meeting. We still believe that it's possible after all this pandemic stuff to meet people. And like, for example, I'm really glad to talk to you right now, but I'm really I will be really glad to meet you in real when I'm gonna come to your town, you know. So yeah, the pandemic affects us, but we still believe that the meeting is possible, and we can still make the link between people, and the pandemic makes us realize how human relation and the value of it is important. So this is kind of a conclusion that we already do in the company. We already knew that human relation was important, but the pandemic stuff make it stronger. This feeling is stronger with it.
And can you see some advantages of the pandemic life or pandemic epidemic? Because, for example, I have experience from organizing the festival in the middle of pandemic, and we felt a big support from creators and from artistic sector of Slovakia to organize it. And what I noticed is that from my point, people are more interested in contact with people, and I think that the value of contact with people is more important for them now.
Yeah, that's true. That there's this solidarity, which is really important, and we see it as an artist, of course. And in France, we had the chance. There was kind of a bridge, like I don't know how to say that, but some we had the chance to play into library, like a big one, in front of a public, because the law wasn't so clear about library. The theater was closed, but the library wasn't so clear. So we had the chance to play in front of people, and that was really overwhelming, because we were so happy to play in front of people, and people were really glad to hear it. So the link, the human link in all of this is stronger. It's getting stronger because people feel alone and feel sometimes depressed, and so when you get the opportunity to make theater in this pandemic year, yeah, it's a real chance, and I think everybody is together in it, and so things are kind of more beautiful in it. So yeah, I'm agree with you with the kind of the value of solidarity and everything.
I believe that when you come to Nitra, it will be after the COVID epidemic.
I hope
But
so.
we are ready for all cases, so we are really looking forward to meet you there.
Yeah, us too, really. And I think it's going to be a really good project. We are really, we believe in it so much, and I think it's going to be wonderful. And moreover, because after this pandemic, to meet other people and to open our minds to other way of thinking, culture, and because we were so close in our lockdown, that it's so important to open up to other thing, other stuff, other person. So yeah, it makes sense for us, really.
Mm-hmm. And I think that the contacts with teenagers and with young people is always wonderful, because we prepare with them one project, Icarus, and I have a chance to meet a group of people, group of teenagers from Nitra, and they are so energetic, and they are full of energy and belief. So it's really wonderful also for me as organizer to meet with them.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it, Anna.
Okay, so thank you for the interview, Bastien.
Thanks to you. That was a pleasure.